A shooting at Denver's East High puts the entire school district's safety plan under the microscope. A student shot and wounded two deans, then later killed himself. It's a shooting that never should have happened. Since then, we have learned about other crimes and safety concerns for students and staff.
Now, a former dean at East tells us safety has been a problem there for years. That dean says he has permanent injuries after being attacked by a student. That student was never charged with a crime or expelled. The dean also says the district's policies have only gotten more relaxed since that incident. Our investigator, Katie Weiss, has his story.
A student shooting and injuring two deans at Denver's East High School this March shook the community. Concerned parents now protest weekly.
What are best practices?
With many calling for change, including one of the victims himself.
There were things that we left on the table that should have been taken care of, but weren't.
Wayne Mason says the other dean who was shot, Eric Sinclair, was in a room alone with the student because no school security guards were answering his radio call for assistance.
My friend, Eric Sinclair, should have never been put in that position.
We're learning that wasn't the only time a dean at East High was attacked by a student alone with them in a room.
As I turned to the right, he nailed me in the side. He knocked me out. He punched me hard and knocked me out on the side, and I'm out. And next thing I know, unbeknownst to me, he starts kicking me in the eyeball with his they were Timberline work boots.
Rudy Villarreal was a dean of students at East High School several years ago. Eric Sinclair replaced him after he left. In 2015, a student beat Villarreal so badly that he still has eye damage.
So I had double detached retina, and through that all, I had 3 corneal transplants. When I look through my left eye, it's like I have a dirty contact lens, and that's permanent. I lost the color of my eye, and then everything that I see horizontally, I see a wave, and that's permanent.
He says the hardest part was the lack of response from the school district. He felt parents, staff, and students had a right to know.
What bothered me is that it was so hush-hush. No one knew about that. Why not? It just saddens me that it wasn't important enough, that nobody called me. Hey, how you doing?
He says the student involved was transferred but not criminally charged. Villarreal was so traumatized he ended his 36-year career in education. Since then, he feels the school district has only relaxed its policies, making schools less safe. And he says students used to be transferred to alternative or pathway schools more often, something he feels the district should consider going back to.
If it was a student that had a similar problems where he had weapons or drugs, well, we didn't feel that it was safe to allow them to come in the building to be in our population. So what we did is we would transfer them over to an alternative school that would be able to accommodate them. It gives them an opportunity to be more successful.
Denver Public Schools says it can't comment on Villarreal's attack because leaders who were in place for the district when the incident occurred are no longer with the district. DPS did say that safety is extremely important and school leaders communicate often with families when an incident occurs.
And we did ask DPS why students who pose a risk are not being sent to pathway or alternative schools. The district has not yet responded.